It's true that breakups suck, and songwriters fill their lyrics with references to their relationships, not usually outright saying who they're singing about. So who wrote about whom? Keep watching to find out what shady songs musicians wrote about their exes. The Chicks were on top of the world in the early 2000s until a political scandal, one where they opposed the war in Iraq, and it derailed their careers. A few years after the backlash, they had a relatively successful comeback single with Not Ready to Make Nice. But after that, it would be 14 long years, a divorce, and a name change before the Chicks released music again. Natalie Maines went through a public breakup with her husband, Hero star Adrian Pastar, and the dissolution of their marriage formed the perfect basis for a barnstormer of a breakup album, Gaslighter. Fearing what Maines would say about him in song, Pastar went to court to block the release of the album. The Blast reviewed Pastar's court filings, which revealed that he was worried the new music would violate the confidentiality clauses in their prenup, and this came as a surprise to Maines. Pastar had previously argued that he was under no financial obligation in the divorce because he said there was no prenup. But fans got to hear Gaslighter, and the title track turned out to be one of the shadiest songs in recent memory, with Maines singing, "Gaslighter, big timer, repeating all of the mistakes of your father." Taylor Swift could fill a list like this all on her own, but her ultimate shady song about an ex has to be her 10-minute epic All Too Well 10-minute version, Taylor's version. As Swifties know, the song is about her fiery 3-month relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. They dated from October 2010 through January 2011, going on much photographed walks and giggling over brunch together, but the relationship unfortunately didn't last. It did, however, give Swift plenty of material for her smash hit album, Red.
The way that this song was written was, I was going through a bit of a sad time.
The re-recorded, expanded song came out in 2021, more than a decade after their breakup. Alongside a 10-minute short film reenacting of the relationship, the song itself featured new details for fans to pore over. Choice lyrics include, "I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age." Gyllenhaal addressed the backlash to his career sparked by the song in an interview with Esquire, saying that the song's release led him to turn off his Instagram comments to avoid the wrath of Taylor Swift's fans. While he admitted he hasn't listened to the album, he expressed a wish that some of the cyberbullying would have been headed off by the singer. He said, "At some point, I think it's important when supporters get unruly that we feel a responsibility to have them be civil and not allow for cyberbullying in one's name." Abigail Breslin is primarily an actor, and an Oscar-nominated one at that. The Little Miss Sunshine star received a nod when she was merely 10 years old. Years later, she briefly dated Michael Clifford, the Australian lead guitarist of pop-punk band 5 Seconds of Summer. Shortly after their relationship fizzled out, Breslin jumped into music with the release of You Suck, a vicious track about all the things wrong with a former lover. She sang over an infectious guitar track, "I'm laughing 'cause I lied, you know." When the song was released, fans of 5 Seconds of Summer weren't happy. According to Genius, fans got the hashtag #AbigailYouTried trending on Twitter, and Clifford tweeted a string of reactions in agreement. He finally addressed the song a year later on Australian radio, protesting,
"Literally, we went to dinner one time, and she..." No, I can't.
You don't have to.
No, it's okay.
Breslin later denied that she'd ever said the song was about him. She told HuffPost Live, "I learned that boy bands have a very, very strong avid following. It got a little bit intense, some death threats." Back at the height of the late 90s, early noughties teen pop wave, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears were the it couple. The pop superstars turned heads wherever they showed up on a red carpet. Who can forget their matching denim looks at the 2001 American Music Awards? The NSYNC breakout and the Baby One More Time star were the envy of young people everywhere until they broke up abruptly in early 2002. Timberlake immediately went on the offense, telling people, "You get to a point where you're crying yourself to sleep at night." Timberlake was also first out the gate to respond to the split in song with his hit single, Cry Me a River. The music video features a Spears lookalike, which, in combination with the song's lyrics, heavily implied that Timberlake had been cheated on. Timberlake croons, "You must have me confused with some other guy. The bridges were burned, now it's your turn to cry me a river." Spears referenced the controversy almost 2 decades later on Instagram with a good-natured caption. She posed in a similar pageboy cap to the Cry Me a River stand-in, writing, "Wait, I look like that girl in the Justin Timberlake video with that hat in Cry Me a River. Oh shit, that's me! I'm Britney Spears? I guess I forget that sometimes." The shadiest thing about Ariana Grande's post-Pete Davidson breakup song is that it isn't shady at all. The two went their separate ways after a whirlwind romance that saw them meet, fall in love, get engaged, and have a falling out all within a span of a few months in 2018. A source told People that it was way too much, too soon. Soon after their split, Davidson referenced the breakup on SNL, jokingly proposing to musical guest Maggie Rogers mere weeks after ending things with Grande.
Hey Maggie, I'm Pete.
Hey Pete.
You want to get married?
No.
Days after Davidson made that first public comment, Grande dropped her new single, Thank You Next, that very night. Fans assumed the song would be about her recent ex, but the song is complimentary of all her former flames, including Davidson. Grande sings, "Even almost got married, and for Pete, I'm so thankful." Where fans expected shade, the song instead suggests that the pop star is the bigger person, leaving her exes no opportunity but to mature with her. When Katy Perry first hit the scene, she was considered more pop-punk than pop. She was even part of the 2008 lineup of Warped Tour, traveling the country alongside bands like Gym Class Heroes, which was fronted by Travie McCoy, Perry's boyfriend at the time. The relationship was apparently serious enough that McCoy bought Perry a promise ring and confessed to People that he was so scared to give it to her. According to People, the two broke up the following year. McCoy posted song lyrics on his blog about the breakup in 2009, quoting from main source's hit Looking at the Front Door. He wrote, "We fight every night, now that's not kosher," and wishes they had remained closer. So Perry wrote her own song. Circle the Drain from her album Teenage Dream is a kiss-off song about McCoy and addiction. She sings, shading him for falling asleep during foreplay. "Wanna be your lover, not your mother." McCoy clapped back to MTV about the song, throwing his own shade in return. He said, "I heard she put out a song that's about me, or about some old habits. I look at it like this. I'm just stoked that she finally has a song with some substance on her record. Good job." Pink met her husband, Carey Hart, all the way back in 2001 at the X Games, where the motocross racer was competing. They married in 2006, but by early 2008, Pink announced on her website that they had split up. She claimed, "The most important thing for you all to know is that Carey and I love each other so much. This breakup is not about cheating, anger, or fighting." Gearing up for the release of her album Funhouse later that year, Pink unveiled the first single, So What, a carefree anthem that spoke about how little she was bothered by her impending divorce from her tatted beau. The song begins before the singer insists that she doesn't need him anyway, singing, "I guess I just lost my husband, I don't know where he went." She later described the song to The Guardian as a vomiting of truths, but it seemed the song might have just been some shady posturing. Pink later told Redbook that she won Hart back by presenting him with a scrapbook of every card he'd ever given her. The two successfully reconciled by the time the song's music video was released. Hart even plays himself in the video, lampooning their fighting. They've been together ever since. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez were, at one point, the 2010s answer to Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. Two mega-famous teen stars had found one another and fallen in love amid the craziness of Hollywood. They broke up and got back together a number of times over the years, and fans always hoped they'd be able to work things out. During one of their breaks, Bieber released Purpose, an album filled with tracks widely interpreted to be about Gomez. The shadiest of the lot is Love Yourself, which sounds from its title like it should be an inspiring self-love anthem. Instead, it has lines like, "My mama don't like you and she likes everyone." Bieber told Access Hollywood that Gomez,
"She's someone I love dearly, dude, and I'm never gonna stop loving her. I'm never gonna stop checking in on her."
According to Elle, they were back on several months after the release of the album. E! News reported that Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez had officially called it quits for the last time in 2018. Though Bieber was the first to define a breakup narrative with his album Purpose, Gomez took her time crafting her own sonic response. 2 years later, Gomez proved she'd grown from the way she'd been treated, writing one of the shadiest things you can say to an ex. On her single, Lose You to Love Me, from her album Rare, she showed what needed to happen to follow his advice. She sings, "We'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to find me. I needed to hate you to love me." Gomez confirmed it was about her ex-love in an interview with Ryan Seacrest. Fans had picked up on the song's lyrics about moving on quickly because by the time the song was out, Bieber had already quickly married model Hailey Baldwin. Gomez said of her song,
"It's something that I feel like girls need to hear, and it's something I'm willing to share with people."
Miley Cyrus and Nick Jonas were yet another couple of famous teens who fell in love, though they hid their relationship from fans until years after they broke up. Cyrus revealed to 17, "For 2 years he was basically my 24/7, but it was really hard to keep it from people." She wrote her hit 7 Things about Jonas, though she didn't admit the inspiration until years later. The song is a rundown of all the things she hates about her ex-love, including such deal breakers as "you're vain, you're games, you're insecure." But the song shifts into a list of all the things she loves too, and that's fitting because the two have remained great friends over the years. Celebrating the song's anniversary on Instagram, Cyrus tagged Jonas and shared a quote from her memoir, reminding fans of her mindset when she wrote the jam. She reflected, "I was angry when I wrote 7 Things. I wanted to punish him, to get back at him for hurting me." Jonas said that Cyrus never told him directly that the song is about him, but due to Miley's choice of jewelry in the music video, he's been able to put the pieces together. Jonas revealed in an interview on BBC Radio 1, "She's wearing a dog tag in this music video that I gave her when I was 14 or something. I was actually kind of flattered, to be honest." Alanis Morissette's iconic album Jagged Little Pill is the quintessential breakup album. Dig called it the breakup album to end all breakup albums. The lyrics on the album are so full of vivid imagery and emotions that it's the basis for a hit Broadway musical written by Diablo Cody. And one particular ex-boyfriend definitely recognized himself in Morissette's lyrics. Full House star Dave Coulier revealed in 2013 that he suspects You Ought to Know is about him. The song features lines about an ex's new woman, finding the singer wondering things like, "Is she perverted like me?" The first verse ends with the ultimate diss, especially if you want your ex to remember how fun and exciting your relationship used to be, with, "I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother." Coulier specifically copped to seeing himself in the second verse, where Morissette sings, "I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner, it was a slap in the face how quickly I was replaced." Coulier told HuffPost Live, "We had already broken up. She called and I said, 'Hey, you know, I'm right in the middle of dinner. Can I just call you right back?' When I heard the line, it was like, uh-oh." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about musicians and their exes are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.